today I'm going to be making two different ways of making pizza. Welcome back to my channel and thank you all for subscribing. I really appreciate it and I'm glad you're here with me. And let's get on to the video. One has the Fathead dough pizza crust, which is a little bit more labor intensive. And then my second way is what I call my lazy man pizza. And it's basically throwing all the toppings and the sauce into a dish and baking it. But sometimes that's all I need, right? If I order pizza for my family and they're gonna have pizza and I just want something fast and easy, it's really satisfying, to me anyways. But I will show you also how to make the Fathead dough, and even both my boys that are not doing keto love this crust. Okay, so let's make my lazy man pizza. It's super simple. All you need is some avocado spray. I have one of these. It's a really old Pampered Chef stoneware. It's about the size of my hand. So if you have like a ramekin that's about the size of your hand, that would work too, or anything that you can put in the oven. Of course, the Kirkland mozzarella cheese. I have some Victoria white linen sauce. Has pretty good macros on it. So 5 net carbs for a half a cup, and we're not even gonna be using that much. Bacon, pepperoni, and then sausage. We're doing a meat one, of course, right? Okay, so this is really easy. We're just gonna lightly spray that. And you can really put any toppings on this as you want. I mean, you can put mushrooms, tomatoes, whatever. So I'm just gonna take a couple spoonfuls out. I guess 4. And just spread that on the bottom. Then what I like to do is take my mozzarella cheese and just take a handful and spread that. Then we're gonna get our toppings. I'm gonna put some sausage on here. This is so filling. It doesn't look like it's a huge amount of food, but it is so filling. Usually I can only eat half of it. It's probably because I loaded up with all the meat and the fat, and so it makes it really filling. Then we're gonna do some pepperoni. And this time I'm actually gonna sprinkle some bacon on. I mean, bacon makes everything better, right? All right, that's good. And then what I like to do to make this even better, drizzle a little olive oil over the top and then sprinkle Italian seasoning. This just makes it just taste a little bit better. And then I also like to add some garlic powder. We'll season it with some Italian seasoning. Especially since we don't have a crust on this, it really just makes you feel like you're having a crust because you have the same flavors, the garlic, the Italian seasoning. And then we just pop that in the oven at 350 until everything is melted and cheese looks delicious. So, I mean, 350 for 15-20 minutes and boom, you have dinner and you can eat with your family that just ordered pizza. I hope you enjoy this recipe. Are you ready to make Fathead pizza crust? I think my whole family is gonna actually eat this kind of crust tonight instead of regular dough. I'm gonna double the batch. Oh, I can't wait for you to try this recipe. Since I have this huge tub of Philadelphia cream cheese, and I want 4 tablespoons because I'm doubling this Fathead recipe. So if I look at the back, 2 tablespoons is 31 grams. Excuse my nails, they look horrible right now. Is 31 grams. So I put this to grams, and so I'm just gonna put in 62 grams instead of having to measure in tablespoons, because this is so sticky. It's just a lot easier to weigh it. All right, so we have 62 grams. We have the cream cheese, and now we're gonna put in 3 cups of the shredded mozzarella, and this is a 1.5 cup dry measuring cup. Okay, so we have 1.5, and then we just need another 1.5 cups. So we're gonna take this over to the microwave, and we're just gonna microwave it for 60 seconds or 1 minute. We just want everything to melt. Usually it's a minute for half this recipe, and then you stir and then another minute, but this is gonna take longer because I have double the amount of everything. We'll let that go for another minute and 30 seconds. Okay, so it came out of the microwave, it's super hot and all melted together. Ooh, so hot I can barely handle it. This looks perfect. Look at that. All right, so let's take it over here and we'll make the dough. We need 1.5 cups of almond flour. So usually for one recipe you would use 3/4 of a cup. I really like these. I just got those at Costco. They were in that big pack for Christmas time. And I kind of like that it comes with 1.5 cup. Because I always need a 1.5 cup. All right, so we'll just dump that in there. And then we're gonna crack 2 eggs.
Pizza!
And I always like to crack it onto the almond flour because I don't want them to cook. And then we just incorporate everything together. This will take some muscle and some time. Okay, and I think it's just easier to use our clean hands. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put oil on my hands. I'm gonna put a little olive oil. And then just start kneading the dough. Trying to get all of this goodness in there. All right, I'm gonna divide this in half. Because I'm gonna make 2 crusts. So I'm gonna lay down some parchment paper. I'm gonna spray it. Of course I ran out. Why wouldn't I? Okay, so I ran out of almond or avocado oil, so I'm just gonna put some olive oil down and just kind of spread it out. Because as you can tell, this stuff is sticky. So I'm gonna set that down. I'm gonna put a little more olive oil on this side. And then flip it over. And we're gonna roll this out. And you can roll this out a little or a lot. It's really up to you. We like a pretty thin crust, so I'm gonna get this fairly thin. It just needs to fit on my cookie sheet, right? All right, that's pretty thin. See, when you oil it, it just makes it a lot better. I know that this isn't gonna fit onto my cookie sheet, so I'm just gonna peel this off. And it's a little thin here, so I'm just gonna patch it. It's pretty forgiving, so don't feel like you have to have everything perfect. And I like to just kind of put a thicker edge on. You don't have to, but I just feel like it holds the toppings on a little bit better when you have an edge, and it just seems like more of a real pizza crust. Then, just like the Lazy Man's pizza, I'm gonna sprinkle it with some Italian seasoning and garlic powder. And then we're gonna pre-bake this crust in the oven at 425 for 9 minutes. It doesn't absorb as much sauce when you pre-bake it. And then you have the opportunity to poke down any bubbles that may occur in the oven. Okay, so let's get it on the cookie sheet and then we can get it in the oven. Look at how easy that was. Bam! That was easy. Let's put it in the oven. Okay, so for the boys' pizza, I made it round so they think it's a normal pizza. It's a little bit thicker as well, so it will hold up hopefully better to their toppings. So I'm gonna set the timer for 4 minutes. We're gonna swap them and then we'll put it for another 5. We're gonna swap them, but before, we're gonna pop these bubbles. The crusts are pre-baked. They look delicious. At this point, if you wanted to make them just cheesy bread, I would drizzle some olive oil, put some cheese down, and even more garlic, and it would be fabulous. But we're gonna make pizza. So our crust is done, and so I'm just going to spread a thin layer of our pasta sauce. And so what I like about pre-baking these is that it won't absorb into the crust. So what you see is what you'll taste on your pizza. What kind of toppings do you guys like? Put them in the comments below. I always like to hear some creative ideas for pizzas. One of my favorites is using this Alterna Sweets barbecue sauce and doing a chicken barbecue with cilantro and some purple onion on it. It's so delicious. Have any of you tried a chicken barbecue pizza before? Let me know. Give me a thumbs up if you have. All right, then we're gonna put our toppings on. So I like to start with some mozzarella cheese and then put our toppings on and then add a little more on the top so everything sticks together. You could also freeze these crusts, so after you pre-bake them, you can just pop them in the freezer after they've cooled off, and then on a night that your family's ordering pizza and you want pizza too, and you want the crust and you don't want the Lazy Man's way, then you'll have a pizza crust that you can make your own pizza. All right, so I got the mozzarella cheese down. I just quartered some pepperoni. I had the large ones, and I like to quarter it so it's bite-sized, because have you ever bitten into a pizza and it has the large pepperonis and it hits you in the face? That's not fun. So I like to have them be bite-sized, or at least somewhat bite-sized, right? All right, then I have sausage, so I'll just, it's already pre-cooked. Really important that you pre-cook your sausage. You guys all probably knew that, but I used to teach high school, so you have to really lay it out for them. Sorry guys if you're watching. And then we're gonna add a little bacon as well. And then a dusting, a little more mozzarella. And I'm just gonna drizzle this with the olive oil. Have any of you tried this before? Drizzling it with olive oil and putting a little more Italian seasoning on top? I'm telling you, it just makes the pizza. so we're gonna pop this in until it is completely ooey gooey deliciousness at 425, probably around 10 minutes, and we will have a delicious pizza. Second pizza, just bacon and mozzarella cheese. The bottom one looks done. I swapped them halfway through. Look at that. Is that not just gorgeous? Oh, so excited. Smells delicious too. I'm gonna let this one go a little bit longer. So I have a question for you. Do you clean up your kitchen as you go, or do you wait till the end? I'm a clean up as I go so I can sit down, enjoy the dinner, and then hopefully not have to do a ton of dishes when I'm done, because I figure I'm in the kitchen already waiting for stuff to bake, so I might as well, right? Let me know in the comments below what you do.